Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone. Open 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. on Sundays.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, January the 20th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Government has released the terms of reference for that blue ribbon panel tasked with reviewing the airport redevelopment plans. It comes after the opposition Progressive Labor Party called for the terms of reference to be announced. Tarai Trott had a look at the documents sent out today by the Ministry of Finance.
The 6-member independent panel, chaired by retired KPMG partner Malcolm Butterfield, has been given until the end of the month to review the confidential documents surrounding the controversial airport proposal, including the release of a public statement on their findings. Opposition leader David Burt, who speaks for his party on finance, had criticized the panel's appointment, believing his party should have been consulted first and that the proposal should instead be reviewed by the Auditor General. In a news release today about the panel's scope, the Ministry of Finance revealing they will have complete access to documentation related to the transaction, the government's legal, financial, technical, and project management advisors, as well as senior representatives of the Canadian Commercial Corporation, or CCC, and Aecon Concessions. The panel is expected to review the documentation, ask questions, and challenge the information, as it may wish to do, in order to reach a consensus view of whether the transaction, which is at a substantially complete stage, is commercially sound. The panel is asked to consider whether the transaction meets certain criteria, including the government's strategic objectives of long-term sustainability, increasing traffic volume and revenue, addressing structural needs of the airport terminal, and improving customer experience. Additionally, the panel will assess whether, on balance, the deal is within the parameters for similar public-private partnerships for airport concession transactions in the market. The opposition PLP is against the proposed redevelopment of the airport in its current form, while the government says a new airport is needed, and this deal absolves Bermuda taxpayers from having to pay for its construction.
And that was Tarai Trott reporting. In other news tonight, it's official. President Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States of America. Today, millions of people around the world watched as President Trump was sworn in at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. for his inauguration ceremony. Locally, was there much interest in the event? Jasmine Patterson and Gareth Fletcher took to the streets of Hamilton to find out whether residents tuned in to watch the controversial president.
I was working out at the time, okay. But I actually am American. Yeah, from New Jersey.
Thoughts?
We've had bad presidents, we've had good presidents. I don't really think it's, as awful as people are making it out to be.
I was keeping track of it today as best as I could while working. Sad day, but see what happens next.
No, not interested.
Yeah, I did watch it. I think it's important to actually know what's going on, even though I'm not a fan. That's all I'm prepared to say at this time.
No way. Who's doing that?
I didn't.
Any reason why not?
Just didn't have any time.
I haven't watched it. Not today. Not yet.
Any thoughts on it?
No, I don't know what to say about it right now.
Absolutely not. I do not support President Trump in any way, fashion, or form.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to glorify it by giving him that satisfaction.
We watched all the morning pre-course to it. And then we decided to leave for his actual induction because we can't stand him, period. But Obama, love him. It is the major loss to see Obama and the whole family. They're elegant, brilliant, everything good. And that was the real sorrow.
It's a disturbing thing that this new administration coming in could wipe out 40 years of progressive policy, civil rights, human rights, women's rights. There's many of us who believe he's a sociopath. He has a big trouble telling the truth. He changes his policies every 3 to 5 tweets. His cabinet that he's assembling is, I think, not only dangerous for America, but dangerous for the world. And so, when we get back, we had to escape New York for the inaugural. We just decided we just needed a little break before we go back to New York and our lives and get busy fighting this new administration and whatever's coming. We have to get to work.
In other news, fire investigators are tonight probing how 2 bed mattresses caught on fire inside the old staff quarters of the abandoned Nye Beaches property in Sands. It just so happened that the Deputy Provost Marshal General was on the property today enforcing an eviction order on the remaining residents who were living there. Firefighters from the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Services were called to the former resort just after 11 this morning after someone noticed smoke and flames coming from the property. The BFRS responded with 2 vehicles staffed with 9 personnel, according to the BFRS staff officer Delton White. Personnel dressed in protective gear discovered the 2 mattresses engulfed in flames. Upon arrival, the blaze was successfully extinguished before it could spread any further. There was minor smoke and fire damage to the building as a result, and no one was hurt during the incident. The Bermuda Land Development Corporation has said once the remaining residents are evicted, the property will be assessed and marketed. Well, we want to hear your thoughts on today's news, plus your news, photos, and video anytime. Make sure you've liked our Facebook page on the address on your screen to get our news updates. And if you happen to miss our newscast, don't worry, it's uploaded nightly to YouTube for your viewing pleasure. Watch it on your computer, laptop, or mobile device, and we're now on the messaging service WhatsApp. So send us your thoughts anytime, along with your photos or videos. Stay with us. We'll have more news and tonight's weather forecast after the break.
Sweet and juicy clementines, only $9.99 for a 5-pound bag. New Zealand frozen whole lamb legs, just $4.99 per pound. Great for sandwiches, old-time split-top wheat bread, only $4.49. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, just $9.99 for a 75-ounce bottle. Select varieties of Silk Pure almond milk, only $3.59 for a 32-ounce carton. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
with car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
There's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers too, and 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
Well, after their ship was struck by a freak wave while 250 miles out at sea, the 6-member crew of the stricken sailboat Nina are alive and well and on dry land this evening. The crew, 4 of whom are Bermudian, were delivered to Ordnance Island in St. George's this morning by the cargo ferry Hercules Leader, which plucked them from their life raft after they were forced to abandon ship. According to our Wayne Snappy Astwood, who shot this video after giving statements to officials from marine and ports and clearing customs, the men were greeted by loved ones who were elated to have them back on dry land. The crew, however, declined to be interviewed by Bermuda Broadcasting News shortly after making landfall. The Hercules Leader, which is no stranger to the island, then departed our waters, headed for Spain. The Bermuda Maritime Operations Center and the U.S. Coast Guard played a key role in locating the men via their emergency beacon and coordinating their rescue. In other news, National Security Minister Jeff Barron is in Jamaica tonight on behalf of the Bermuda government for a series of events in the region. Tomorrow, Senator Barron will be attending the funeral of Hazel Daly in Montego Bay on behalf of the Royal Bermuda Regiment. Minister Barron will deliver a tribute at the funeral honoring Miss Daly for nearly 50 years. Hazel Daly, a good friend of Bermuda, was a great source of support and assistance to generations of the Bermuda Regiment's leadership and soldiers. Reports note that Ms. Daly was a businesswoman and philanthropist who ran Daly's variety store on Gloucester Avenue in Montego Bay. who welcomed all Bermudians during her lifetime. Miss Hazel, or Auntie Hazel, as she was fondly known, took Bermuda's regiment's soldiers under her wing and treated them like family. Miss Daly died last month at age 89. Regiment Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel David Curley is accompanying Minister Barron to Jamaica and to Miss Daly's funeral. And the Grassroots People's Campaign for Equality, Jobs and Justice back on the scene again. Organizers are now inviting the public who agree with its fight against what they describe as the oppressive system in Bermuda that creates social and economic injustices to attend a public meeting tomorrow, Saturday, January 21st at St. Paul's Centennial Hall in Hamilton, beginning at 6 p.m. The meeting will focus on the movement of the People's Campaign and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the next steps for movement. Families are also urged to attend. And Bermudian actor Jason Eddy will be headlining in one of Shakespeare's well-known comedies, Twelfth Night, as part of the Bermuda Festival for Performing Arts on January 24th and 25th. The play, led by a British cast, will be shown at the Earl Cameron Theatre at City Hall.
Jason Eddy is making his rounds working professionally as a stage and film actor in London, following formal training at the leading schools, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York, and the Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London. Though coming home to perform in Bermuda is one gig he could not miss out on.
We rehearsed in London first before taking it to Croatia last year. And then we just did a 2-month run in Vienna at the Vienna's English Theatre. And I knew we were doing that in advance, so I suggested it to the festival as I thought it would be a really great show for Bermuda. It centres around a shipwreck. You know, you have people washing up on a mysterious country they've never been before, so I thought those themes would work. And with love and comedy, everyone loves that.
So you yourself played a huge part in bringing this production to Bermuda.
Well, yeah. I guess as I joke with the rest of the cast, the drinks are on them when they arrive. I've always wanted to come back and perform, and I've always sort of looked for opportunities to bring something back. So I approached the festival and put them in touch with the producer, and sort of luckily it's a really great show and we've got a really good story to tell.
Meanwhile, Mr. Eddy has a few words of advice for any Bermudians looking to enter the dramatic arts industry.
Make sure that it's the thing that you want to do more than anything else in the world. You know, as much as we see the sort of Angelina Jolie's and sort of Denzel Washington's winning the Oscars and making lots of money, most actors sort of do struggle, and it is a thing that you have to really love and keep plodding away at until you necessarily get that big break, which might not ever happen. The other thing I would say is if you like drama and you like the theatre or you like film, don't necessarily always think that you have to be an actor, because that's often a really difficult career to sort of sustain. Whereas if you look at other things, sort of technical things, design, stage managing, directing, sound design, light design, sort of all those other jobs that go into making a play happen or making a film happen.
But he says there are some perks to being a Bermudian in the film world.
I think there's definitely a friendliness and a warmth to Bermudians and Bermudian life, and you know, it's such a small community and we're so used to taking care of each other and speaking and being pleasant that I think that's definitely helped. I've always been told that in a rehearsal room or on a set that everyone's really, really pleased with my attitude and I get along with everyone, and they always are really appreciative of that. And I also think it's interesting having a perspective from a place that's so different to most people in the world. I mean, growing up here and being here, we don't necessarily see it because we're all Bermudian. But you go to London or you go to New York and you introduce yourself and you say, I'm from Bermuda, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, wow, what's that like? Oh, tell me more. So I guess it's a bit of a sort of a wow factor maybe when I go into an audition, as something a bit different that helps them remember me.
If you're interested in seeing 12th Night next week as part of the Bermuda Festival of Performing Arts, tickets can be purchased online at bermudafestival.org. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
The BSX announcing today that the Bank of NT Butterfield & Son Limited, which trades under Butterfield Bank, will release its 2016 financial results in advance of market opening on Monday, February 13th. Butterfield executives will also host a conference call for investors to discuss fourth quarter and full year results at 11 a.m. on the same date. Callers may access the conference call via the investor relations page on Butterfield's website at butterfieldgroup.com. A replay of the call will be archived on the Butterfield website within 2 hours of the live call. Turning to weather news, another front will move through Saturday evening. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer. Hey, we've made it to Friday. Kind of rough conditions out there the last couple of days. We had all of that rain, that system continuing to move out of our region. Today we've kind of been dealing with the windy conditions, and we are going to have the potential for a few spotty showers as we get into your Friday night. Nothing to be too concerned about. Here are things on the radar. You can see the showers just off to our west. Couple of passing showers possible. Other than that, tonight should be fairly decent. Here's a look at current conditions right now across the region. 66 in St. George's. The humidity is between 70 and 75%. The winds right now coming out of the northwest at 10 to 15 knots. We'll take a look at the forecast for this Friday night. If you have plans, again, a few spotty showers not out of the question. Otherwise, should be a pretty decent night to head out and about. Temperatures are going to be in the low 60s under partly cloudy skies. And looking ahead at the weekend, we are going to have a few more opportunities for showers. I don't think either day is a washout. Better chance for heavy rain as we get into Tuesday of next week. So a mix of sun and clouds on Saturday, a few showers in places as we get into the afternoon. High temperatures will be right around 69 degrees. If you're heading out there on the water, here's a look at the tidal times. Again, I don't expect any issues out on the water. No warnings or advisories to tell you about, but we will see the winds picking up as we head into early next week. Your getaway forecast here. Here's a look at conditions. New York City in the 50s. That's actually pretty warm for them. And out into Boston, 51 degrees. Atlanta, seeing temperatures well above normal. And out here into Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, a pretty decent day. Temperatures in the 80s with a few passing showers. We'll take a peek at the extended forecast. Again, scattered showers for both Saturday and also into Sunday. Neither day is a washout. Monday, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Tuesday is the day to watch here. That's where we will have some heavy rain with some gusty winds as well. We're looking at the potential of another half of an inch to an inch of rain on Tuesday. Likely going to see some rough conditions out on the water. But once we get into Wednesday, that's when we will have some better weather here into Bermuda. Temperatures will be right around 70 degrees and drier on Wednesday. Now, of course, we want you to stay up to date with the latest news and weather information. You can do that by visiting these 3 local radio stations: Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Every day, a tsunami hits Bermuda. A tidal wave of information and images floods our phones, laptops, and tablets. We're awash in emails, posts, tweets, blogs, texts. As an advertiser, your message can easily get drowned out. Time to reach for the life raft. Technology changed the game, but television and radio still lead the way. Who doesn't have an all-time favorite TV ad?
Affleck, where's the beef? You can count on us.
The man, your man could smell it.
TV remains the most powerful advertising tool in the world. For immediacy and engagement, you can't beat radio. Here at Bermuda Broadcasting, we can help you reach thousands of people at the same time. You might have a new small business or run a corporation. We can customize ads to help you build awareness and attract new customers. TV and radio advertising gets results. Call me, Diane Brewer, and I'll show you how. The Fairmont Hamilton Princess has showcased their new, completely renovated Fairmont Gold Wing. The hotel describes the new wing as an exclusive lifestyle offering that features a 1,600 square foot outdoor terrace with warm and personalized service with amenities such as private registration, a private honor bar, and cocktails. The 11 suites now boast new furniture, fixtures, and audio and visual capabilities, along with modern bathrooms. The hotel underwent a $100 million renovation project, including a new spa. Now here's Mike Sharp with the latest from the sports desk.
Zico Lewis, who was drafted by the New York Red Bulls last week, is joining his new club as we speak and will not be representing Bermuda against Canada on Sunday. Zico recently graduated from Boston College, and his father, Troy Lewis, explains what he is dealing with this weekend.
I know you're proud. Yes, both of us, my wife and I, and his little sister, are very proud of our whole family. Zika's stayed focused throughout his whole life. He knew what he wanted to do since early and has accomplished all his goals. Now it's time for him to take on a new challenge.
Mm-hmm. What was his reaction in being drafted by the Red Bulls?
Well, I mean, he was hoping that he'd get drafted on the East Coast again, but it really didn't make a difference to him. Wherever he got drafted, he just wanted to be drafted so he could play at that level and to prove to himself as well as to everybody else that he's definitely the person that can play professional football.
Sure. We are playing Canada this Sunday night.
Yes, Bermuda's playing Canada in a friendly match. Unfortunately, it's outside the international window. And for Zico, he wished he could be back. He was hoping, but his first day, we actually is flying to New York today to do all his testing, but his first day on the job for preseason is the 23rd, so he wouldn't have been able to make it, come to the game, and then be there for the 23rd. So unfortunately, he's not going to be here for the match.
Okay, so he's going to work then as we speak.
Exactly. He's actually on his way to New York now. He had to move all his stuff from Boston, which is where he went to school, Boston College. He graduated in December. So now he's off to his new job and new life.
Yeah. I mean, but you will be able to go to him because New York, I mean, that's relatively close. When he's home playing, you could pop up there and catch him real easy.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm happy, and I think a lot of people in Bermuda are happy that they're able to do that with New York being a gateway city and flights to New York short as well as a lot of times inexpensive. It's really good. With the MLS season being so long, 10 months, it's going to be a lot of opportunities for Bermudians as well as our family to go up and watch him.
The head coach of Team BDA, our Youth America's Cup Red Bull sailing team, Richard Clark, explains why it was helpful for the youngsters to do an exhibition mile race against Team Japan recently.
It's an interesting exhibition match, but it's good to see the youngsters involved in the Front Street Mile.
They're so psyched to be here. They're just thrilled and extremely nervous at the same time to race against the home crowd. But what a great opportunity, right? They're going to have to do this, and the lights come on for them for real in June. So we thought, what a great opportunity. Come down here, get the jitters out, just become a little bit more familiar with what it's like to sail or race on home waters in front of the home crowd.
And with the young Japanese squad there with them.
Well, that just kind of ups the ante a little bit, right? So racing up and down here against themselves would just be an experience. But now they got to race, and they don't want to lose. So it's great.
My understanding is that the two teams have actually been on the Great Sound together sailing?
Yeah, we have a little tuning racing relationship. And one thing about sailing is we don't get the clock, right? So you have to have somebody else to compete against to make sure, for us it's the amplitude of mistakes. The only way you know that is you have somebody out there that can, when you make a mistake, you go, ooh, that was a big one, right, with another boat around. So we've had a great opportunity for the youth team from Japan to be here to train against us. We spent 4 hours on the water today racing against them, and now we get to do it here.
And now we continue with our America's Cup weekly series with Michaela Pearman.
I'm Michaela, and this is my minute. With the America's Cup just a few months away, there's plenty going on. From more teams moving to Bermuda to everyone preparing for the main event. And here's a way you can have a taste of the action, the Community Grinding Challenge. One of the most important roles on the AC boats is the grinder. He's probably the fittest of all the sailors as he literally powers the boat by grinding during the race. Now you have an opportunity to test out your fitness in the Community Grinding Challenge. It will essentially be a road show starting at the end of the month, stopping at schools and community events for you to have a go on the grinder and log your best time. Those with the best times in each category will be invited to compete in the finals during opening weekend of AC35, and the prizes are exciting. So get your strength up and look out for more information because the Community Grinding Challenge is coming to you very soon. Look out for the launch event happening next week. I'm Michaela, and that's your minute.
And I'm Mike Sharp with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save more than half price on Purdue fresh chicken leg quarters, only 99 cents per pound. For a healthy salad, Bermuda-grown green leaf lettuce, just $2.99 each. For a quick meal, Grace corned beef, only $3.49 for a 12-ounce tin. For a refreshing drink, Campbell's V8 Splash Drinks, just $4.79 for a 64-ounce bottle. 4-roll Scott Extra Soft Toilet Tissue, only $3.69. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more weekly specials.
Turning to health news, more men are taking paternity leave and new health concerns for children with asthma. Here's today's top health stories.
Children with asthma are about 50% more likely to become obese, according to researchers at the University of Southern California. But children with asthma are about 50% more likely to become obese, according to researchers at the University of Southern California. But their research also shows children who use inhalers when they have an attack are less likely to be obese. Italian researchers have found people with type 1 diabetes have inflammation in their digestive tract, especially in the gut. Doctors are not sure if diabetes created the gut problems or the other way around. And the number of women taking maternity leave has not changed in more than 2 decades. That's according to Ohio State University researchers who say the number should be increasing, but it's not. During the same time, the number of fathers taking paternity leave has more than tripled.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful, relaxing weekend, everyone. Good night.